Get what?
You're going to tell us some stories about Robert?
Well, we start with Lyda. There was nobody gentler than Lyda. She was a perfect match and mate for Robert. Richard tells the story that when he was in university and came home at 2 in the morning, Aunt Lyda and Uncle Robert were visiting, and they were going down the hall, holding hands, going to the toilet together. Now, I'm not going to tell you what they did in there because I really don't know. Lyda was wonderful. She fell in the same category as Aunt Gwen. The two of them were saints. Now, Robert, that's a different story. He was bigger than life, in my mind anyway. He was my second father, and he taught me a lot. I spent a lot of time running behind him from the time they were married. What year were they married?
41.
1941, right, and I was born in 34, so I spent a lot of time running behind Robert. He taught you everything. If he said no, he gave you a reason. But don't pester him, because then he'd say yes, and you'd learn the hard way, such as shooting. He taught me to shoot, and I was darn good with a .202. However, I wanted to shoot the .303. Robert said, Elaine, no, that's an elephant gun. It's too powerful for you. Well, I pestered, and Robert's opinion was, you can't hear, you'll feel. So I picked up the gun, and thank God I didn't put it on the side of my face. I did it correctly. If not, my head would have been looking the other way. I pulled the trigger, and all I heard was a blast. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious lying down on my back with my shoulder out of place. Robert said, I told you so. You're too hard-headed, which means in Antigua you're stubborn. I prefer to call it determined. And I was trotted off to the hospital. And the first thing I said, don't tell Mammy and Pappy because I'll have to go home. So I stayed down at Smith's for the rest of the summer with my shoulder in a mess. And that was Robert. Robert was a big man with a big heart and a gentle soul. And I'll always remember him. Thank God he left behind a bunch of kids that look like him. Vernon for one, Kit for the other, and John Hall for the third. But none of you all have gained his height. He was a big man. I don't know what happened to you guys.
Watered down?
Eh?
Watered.
Yeah. It got watered down. Anyway, there we are.
That was something that I always remember when he died. He lay on the bed.
Anything on Lyda?
Lyda was too good and kind. She never strayed from the usual. And the one thing with Lyda, she'll say to you, would you like so-and-so? And, oh no, do you like such and such a thing? And you'd say, yeah, I like it. My God, she would drive from here to Dockyard and back to get it for you. That's the kind of person she was. And as I said, she was a gentle soul. I'm in the radical division.
Peacemaker.
Huh?
Peacemaker.
Yeah,
is
but
a peacemaker.
Lyda was gentle. She was a gentle woman.
Her name, she was well named, you know.
Yeah.
Her second name was Veronica.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to start out as the second youngest and end up being the second oldest. Believe you me, that's the pits.